Welcome to the Sports King from Queens, where all the sports talk is royal, real, and straight from the boroughs. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. This is episode 204. I'm Gino, joined by my co-hosts, Kevin and Darren. Please catch us wherever you get your podcasts. Like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're all over the place. Join our pages. If you want to leave us a comment, give us a comment. We'll get back to you. We got a lot going on in the world of sports last week. We're going to get it started with football. We'll start locally. So Bears beat the Giants 24-20. Giants fall to 2-8. Caleb Williams engineered his fourth game-winning drive of the season. Giants offense stalled after rookie quarterback Jackson Dart left with a concussion, allowing the Bears to complete the rally for their sixth win. And then 2 days later, the news comes out and the Giants have officially fired head coach Brian Daboll. Overall record as New York Giants coach was 20-40-1 across 3.5 seasons. He started strong at 9-7-1 in 2022, and then it just went downhill from there. He went 11-33 after that. Coach, offensive coordinator Mike Kafka has been named interim coach. Joe Shane still is in his position as they lead the search for a new replacement head coach. Guys, what's your thoughts, Kev?
Let's remember, his first year, NFL Coach of the Year and all, he started 7-2 and only won 2 of his last 8.
Correct.
He won a road playoff game in Minnesota, which makes everybody think that it was an amazing year. Anyway, go ahead.
But that was a horrible Minnesota team, and we all knew it.
But they were the home team. It was a road playoff game. Anyway, I'm sorry, Kev.
So it's not just 2, it's like 3 years of bad record.
Yeah.
We all know the stats this year. 4 times they've blown a lead of at least double digits. Twice with a 10-point or more lead with 4 minutes left and blow the games. First team since the 2004 Seahawks, or only team to do it other than the 2004 Seahawks, blowing 2 games like that. Just the way they find ways to lose. He pushed for Dart. I think Dart's, definitely been a positive. I think he's done a good job with Dart. But
why do you say that? What makes you say that he's done a good job with Dart?
I think just in general, because the offense has been so much better this year with Dart.
It could only go up from where they were. I don't think he's done such a great job with Dart. Dart had talent. He came in here and he showed it.
Well,
I don't think most teams didn't have him as a first round grade, Gino. Most teams, I'm sorry, Kev.
He would not have been the 25th or 26th pick, wherever it was, if he was that talented.
Gino, you just don't like the Giants. But, I mean, that's
beside
this. Stop defending.
This is not an anti-Giant point. This is a Daboll point. But I don't think anything Daboll did had anything to do with Dart playing well.
You don't think that Daboll putting Dart in position to do well had anything to do with it? You don't think
he did
well with this?
How did Daboll put him in a position to do well?
Well, he took the Ole Miss offense, revamped it, and gave it to this kid and let him go with it. Most coaches wouldn't have done that. That's all I'm saying. He did a lot of things he did at Ole Miss. He changed the offense around. You got to give him a little bit of props for it, G. You can't just say no.
I don't think Daboll's a good coach, so I can't give him props.
I'm not saying he's not a good coach, and neither is Kevin. What we're saying is that he did do a nice job maturing the kid in his rookie year with a lot of quarterbacks like Caleb Williams, who was the first pick of the draft and struggled mightily last year. Jaden Daniels hadn't shown much this year when he was healthy. Dart looks more exciting than guys that were picked 1 and 2.
Okay, but I don't think it has anything to do with Daboll.
Well, I think Daboll's a terrible head coach.
Okay.
But you saw how he worked with Josh Allen to make him, he started his development in the pros, because when Josh Allen came out of Wyoming, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Okay.
It has something to do with Josh Allen's development. I think he's had something to do with Jackson Dart's development.
I don't. It's my opinion, but I don't. I don't think he has anything to do with Jackson Dart. I got to be honest.
I think the one negative on him is maybe
I don't even think he wanted him here.
No, he's the one. He's the guy that pushed for him. Shane wanted somebody else. He's the one that pushed for Dart.
Yeah,
by everybody's admission.
I think the one negative is just that he had to put a little bit more of containment on Dart. Stop with all these designed runs and everything else. It's one thing for Stark to scramble when he's in trouble, but he's a good scrappy player. Has got some two-way ability, but you don't need to be running Dart on these design runs also and exposing him. Since he's been a starter, 76 times he's been hit. Only one quarterback's been hit more, Justin Herbert, and we know how bad that offensive line is. So it's been too much. He's been exposed too much, including preseason. This is the fourth time he's been checked for a concussion. You got to limit the hits on him.
Well, we saw what happened with Tua. I mean, though he didn't play badly last week against Buffalo, but you feel like every time he gets hit, he's going to be out for his career. Gee, I get your point. I've been on that bandwagon of anti-Daboll for 3 years. I mean, basically, I've wanted him fired. This year, he's done something different. He used to get blown out of every major game. Now he's found a way to blow them. I mean, they used to not be prepared at all. And it was just the dysfunction of the Jets that kept Daboll looking somewhat solidified. But then the Jets went out there and they stuck up the joint, but they changed coach and GM, so you give him a year. And now Daboll comes into the foresight of everything. And let's be honest, Daboll's been bad, but what has John Mara done? Since he's taken over for his father, he's done squat. He's been a horrible owner. He has made one bad choice after another in the head coaching position. The only thing he did right was to promote the GM last time out a little bit before he replaced him with Gettleman. I mean, and I'm even blanking on the GM. I don't remember who it was, but he's done nothing right. And that's the biggest problem with this team is it's from ownership down, just like the Jets, Kev.
Yeah, I think with Daboll. I mean, I'm not defending Daboll as a head coach.
He's awful.
He was awful. The hot-headedness on the sidelines. I mean, there's one thing to look angry, but he was hot-headed, almost lose control type of hot-headedness. And I don't know, just not the type of guy it looks like you want to play for.
No, and listen, he should have been gone before the season started. All three of us thought that. He got a little bit of leeway because of the one road playoff win.
Yeah,
he got leeway because of one win. They had a lot of lucky wins there. You're not lucky, but they found a way. I can't say lucky because in the NFL, you win the game, you win the game. All right.
Yep.
But he got that win against Minnesota, and everybody forgets that the next week they went to Philly and they looked as ill prepared as any playoff team could in a second round of a playoff, not a first round. First round of a playoff, sometimes the team doesn't belong there and they get shown. Second round of the playoff, the Eagles just blew them out.
Yeah, and that was with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and the fact that Daniel Jones was the reason was holding him back. It's obviously not holding the Colts back. And listen, I still don't think Daniel Jones is a great quarterback. I think this is a little bit of a mirage, but
last 2 weeks to get into that.
Yeah, last 2 weeks. But the mirage was that he was such a great coach, he just didn't have the quarterback. And now it's real. And what the Giants did for us today was the gift of gifts. Jameis is starting.
I love it.
You just want to watch the Giants play every week now because every pass has a chance to be a touchdown one way or the other. There's a legit chance. And with no weapons, it should even be more exciting. But
Jameis will throw it in there.
I agree with 95% of what you say. I do give him a little more credit for Dart than you do, but I agree with 95% of what you're saying, though.
Listen, I didn't give him credit with Daniel Jones because I didn't think Daniel Jones was good back then. So I can't give him credit now just because the team is playing well. I mean, the quarterback is – listen, too much of this year when I've seen Jackson Dart, he reminds me of Daniel Jones' rookie year. Too much.
I don't see it like that.
Wow, I don't see that.
You don't see him just scrambling like crazy the way Daniel Jones did first year? I do.
You know what it is, though? He plays with a different emotion and a different fire, and it just comes off a little bit more exciting than what Daniel Jones did. I mean, maybe it is a similar playbook, but Jackson Dart's emotion makes you feel like there's something exciting and something good going on in Giant Land. He does.
Okay, the emotion doesn't change all of the runs. However, I will give you this, and that is similar to Daniel Jones. He's got no offensive weapons, and he's got no receivers out there. And the second thing is that their offensive line still is horrible. So I will secede that point to you that is a factor involved in this. But I thought Jackson Dart was playing well. I did. I can only give Daboll little credit for that. I don't know how much credit I give him. He ran the same. He's running this offense. What, the first 3 games of the season with Russell Wilson? Did we give him credit for that? Because that was horrible.
Except the Dallas game where he put up like 40.
Okay.
Dallas' defense is
But then we realized what Dallas' defense was.
I'm just saying. I find it hard. I find it hard to give him credit when I don't think he is the big reason. When you basically had a talent upgrade at quarterback from Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart.
Well, listen, the Giants' season went like this. It looked like it won 2 in a row. It looked like everything was going their way. They're up big after 3 quarters in Denver. Fell apart in the 4th quarter and have not recovered. Not recovered one iota. I mean, they should have won Chicago. They should have won the Chicago game this week. They would have been a team. Then Dart got hurt, and it was kind of over after that. And the Giant defense just everything you expect them to be. I didn't expect Dexter Lawrence to take steps back like he did. I really didn't. I thought that Abdul Carter would be more of a factor from what I saw in preseason than what I'm seeing now. Thibodeau's hit or miss. The only guy that really playing on that defense is Burns. The cornerbacks suck. I mean, it's tough to watch.
Listen, I made this point in the offseason when Kev said that this is going to be an amazing line. I actually said to him, I says, can we hold off and let them play a couple of games before we declare them one of the best lines in history? We actually had that conversation. And my thing was, I just didn't think you were going to get exceptional play from all of these guys at the same time. Knowing that you had a rookie, you had guys in the second year, that was my only thing. But I get it. I mean, here's my question to you guys. Do you think Shane should have went too?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he will go. I think that they just didn't want to have no GM at the same time. I think that's the only reason what saved them. Just like last year, I mean, with the Jets making a move on Salah, which they shouldn't have done.
Do you think Shane goes after the season? Because I do.
I mean, listen, this team is bereft of talent in a lot of spots. They have no depth. Some of that, all of that has to fall on the general manager. You can only coach talent. I mean, listen, the first round misses that Shane has had and this Giant team has had over the last several years are abundant. I mean, listen, Dart's going to be a hit, and that's fantastic. And Skfq in a later round looks like if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a great hit. And Neighbors looks like he's got a real shot. And all these things are great. But they still missed on Evan Neal in the top 10. And, Deontay Banks, the cornerback, Deontay Banks, a first-round pick who's been a miss. I mean, when you're missing all these guys in first-round picks, it's on you. And the lack of depth is on him. Joe Shane has done nothing good here. He didn't want Dart. That was Daboll. So I mean, I think Shane. I think they're just keeping him just to keep everything steady and afloat. And then as we wind down the season, he'll be gone and they'll go on the search.
All right. Any other closing points on the Giants, Kev?
They say he's going to be part of the coach search at this point. I mean, are we going to see a situation like in Jacksonville where Balky, their GM, led the search and they're going to sign Cohen and Cohen backed out until they got rid of Balky? Or are we going to have the same situation? I mean, that's the dumbest thing
in the world. It's the dumbest thing in the world to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Why would you listen? He hasn't picked a good head coach. He failed. You don't get to do it again.
Yeah.
I think they're a unit.
Daboll's record is so bad, he's even behind Ben McAdoo and Ray Perkins,
which is
in winning percentage.
And I agree. It's listen, the Giants aren't supposed to be this bad, and they've been bad for a long time.
All right, let's head over. We'll talk about the Jets. So they beat the Browns 27-20. Special teams was a story for the Jets as they returned both a kickoff and a punt for a touchdown in the first half. Defense delivered 6 sacks, helping the Jets secure the second straight victory in between a bye week, but still a second straight victory. Kev?
We own the state of Ohio. How the hell did they win that game? My goodness. I mean, part of it, Fields was awful again. I mean, there's no two ways about it. 42 yards net passing. There was a 42-yard screen for a touchdown to Breece Hall. That means the rest of his passing net was 0.
That
The
was
fact that he wasn't
yeah.
benched at halftime is a travesty.
I was shocked. They kept waiting for them to go to Taylor. Because somehow, some way, defense gave up that awful 95-yard drive to give the Browns a 7-0 lead. Couple of defensive penalties.
Well, one on third down really kind of allowed it.
Yep. And then the ensuing kickoff, bang. And then the defense held, and the punt return, bang. And all of a sudden, it was 14-7. I mean, the offense had 3 plays, and we had 2 touchdowns. And somehow, some way, they hung in there. Fourth, they got the one play to Breece Hall, like I said, and that was enough to pull out a win. I mean, just unbelievable. I mean, the defense. I mean, they harassed Gabriel all day. Gabriel did not look good at all. Will McDonald 4 sacks. Ties the team record. Do you know the other 2 Jets get 4 sacks?
The Klecko was one, wasn't he?
No.
It was Gastineau?
It was Gastineau.
And the more recent one?
2000s.
Was it John Abraham?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice job, Darren.
Every now and again, they dust me off. Kev gave me a hint, though.
I figured just to move it along. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how they got the win. I mean, what more can you say, Darren?
Well, I mean, Fields had to be benched. They don't bench him. I don't know what they're watching, what they're seeing, what they're doing. Mason Taylor had a good game a week before. They don't throw the game before. They don't throw to him at all, really, in this game.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. The Jets have a few playmakers that have to make plays. McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, and his arrival does make a difference on that line. And Quincy Williams, right? Quincy had a big game after getting benched to start because his lack of effort or whatever it was. And McDonald. When we can get the playmakers to play fast, it's a different defense. Because when we don't, they can't – listen, they don't cover well anyway. They can't hold up for very long. They just don't have that. So they have to get pressure. And when you're able to do it with 4 guys, it's great because Wilkes has no plan for these guys. Wilkes has no idea what he's doing. I actually think he's as bad as Bowen with the Giants. I think they're the 2 worst in the league, and we get to watch him week in, week out here on the local channels. I mean, they're just awful. He's got no clue what the hell he's doing. But I was happy to see the difference-making happen. I just don't understand how they stick with Fields. It's not like you're building around him. It's not like you're trying to build up his confidence. He's not the future. He's made that perfectly clear. Now you play the game, and I also understand the people that say we should play to lose. I can't root for them to lose when I'm watching them. I know some people can. I can't. I want to win games. I get 17 of these a year, and then the rest, the other, 40 weeks or whatever the hell is 35 weeks, whatever it is, I get nothing. So there are no 17 weeks. I watch them and I want to see them play well. So I'm happy with them winning, but I just don't understand why you would even protect Fields. He's not your future.
I'm tired of all this stuff. You got a tank. You got to get the number 1 pick and everything else. Where was Mahomes picked?
He got traded up for. He picked about 10, right? 9, 10,
Josh
11,
Allen?
right around there.
Josh
Allen was what, 7? Trevor
Lamar
Lawrence
Jackson?
was 1. Remember Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
What was that?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson was what, 28, 29?
Okay.
30, around
Let's
there?
take the first round.
Yeah.
So okay, Kev. But then what? But what is the point then?
That
it's hit and miss?
Just like Darren. I'm watching this team. I want them to win.
Okay.
And I don't care about a number 1, whether they're picking 1st or 5th or 10th. I don't care.
That's understood.
It's about finding the right quarterback. Doesn't have to be the number 1 pick to find the right quarterback, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence was going to revolutionize the AFC South for
we,
years.
Anyway. We know it's hit and miss. We know it's hit and miss with the quarterbacks. I get it, except when you're in those positions in the first round, you have to take those shots. Because if you don't, you're never going to get that quarterback. I
don't know. We don't know this year if the quarterbacks coming out are worth it.
Listen, I'm not talking specifically about this year. I'm just talking in general. So I get it.
We took Zach Wilson with the 2.
Yeah.
That didn't work out.
It's hit and miss. We know that.
Mark
Darnold
Sanchez.
with the three. No, we have not been successful. They have to find the quarterback, otherwise this team goes nowhere. Because Drake May looks like the deal, and it looks like New England's going to be back as a powerful team in the AFC East for another long stretch.
Hey, where was May picked?
He was in the top 5. He was
4, right?
Right?
4. Wasn't he? Oh, 3, because Daniels was 2.
3 or 4, yeah, right there.
Daniels was 2, and he was Daniels was 3, he was 4. Because Caleb was 1, then a defensive player went 2.
Okay. He was QB 3.
Daniels went 3, and he went 4.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, so let's go. We're gonna go through the playoff picture in that way, and we'll do the game. So right now in the AFC, the 1 seed would be the Colts at 8-2. They beat the Falcons this week 31-25 in Berlin. In overtime, Taylor had 3 touchdowns.
He's a beast. He's the best running back in football right now.
Yep. Denver holds the 2 seed at the moment. They're 8-2. They beat the Raiders last Thursday 10-7. Kev?
Is that not the classic Thursday night game?
Yeah.
13 3-and-outs, 15 punts, 3 interceptions, 2 missed field goals, a blocked punt, 8 sacks. More than half of the Raiders' drives were less than 2 yards.
Yeah.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
What has happened to the Denver offense? I expected it to be a lot more potent than I've seen this year.
Bo Nix.
He's too safe last year down the stretch, but has not had a good sophomore season.
Okay, Good. I'm sorry, Kev.
I was gonna say Sean Payton doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't let Nix throw the ball deep, or if Nix just checks down way too fast. I don't know which one it is.
I think the offensive line has struggled. I have some of those guys in fantasy, so I've watched a lot of Denver. I think their offensive line has just really struggled the last month, to be honest. And Nix is not getting any time to throw. Between Cortland Sutton and Franklin, they're not even getting a chance to get down the field, and he's scrambling or he's getting hit. Dobbins has been okay. He started off hot as hell the first month, and he's been just okay. RJ Harvey really hasn't even come in and played that well. So we'll see what happens to them. All right, the 3 seed is New England. They're at 8-2. They beat Tampa 28-23. Drake May, Trevian Henderson both had a good game. New England's defense held off Tampa on a late rally. They got their 7th consecutive win. They're holding on to first place in the AFC East right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're playing real well, and unfortunately, watching Red Zone, Scott Hansen is either the biggest Patriot fan on the planet, or he's Drake May's father, because he can't stop gushing about this guy every time they show him on there. I know he's playing good, but he's not playing great. He's playing well. They're winning these games because Vrabel has that defense fired up, and they're getting open receivers on some pretty good scheme. But I've seen May make a lot of mistakes as well. I haven't seen him play perfect football out there by any stretch.
Some betting sites, he's the MVP favorite right now.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Which I don't understand.
Well, when Matthew Stafford is putting up the stats he's putting up, there's no freaking way.
And
Jonathan Taylor also, by the way.
Yeah, those would be the 2 you'd point to, although we all know that the quarterback has the much bigger nod in MVP for NFL.
Yeah, Stafford would be that guy to me.
Yeah, Stafford's the guy, right?
Yep. I don't think it's that close.
The 4-5 seeds are Pittsburgh and the Chargers. I bring it up that way because they played Sunday night. Chargers wound up winning 25-10. Aaron Rodgers looked horrible that night. He looked like he completely didn't want to get hit in any way, shape, or form. Chargers forced 2 interceptions. Herbert led, and he was very inefficient, but he got the win.
He was running for his life, G. He had no time.
Yeah. I mean, Chargers get the win.
You're gonna get to them in a minute here, but I don't buy Pittsburgh as a division winner here.
So right now they're 5-4, and the team underneath them would be the Ravens at 4-5. They're not in the playoff picture at the moment in the top 7, but they're right on the outside. Ravens, by the way, beat the Vikings 27-19. They looked like they're starting to get healthy. Defense looked okay instead of bad. Darren?
Minnesota committed 8 false starts at home. Minnesota was able to move the ball on them whenever they wanted to. They just kept going backwards. McCarthy is not a finished product by any stretch. I don't know if he'll ever be good. But it wasn't like Baltimore played great. It was Minnesota just kept shooting themselves in the foot. I've never seen a team get 8 false starts at home. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like there's crowd noise going against them. They're controlling the narrative of the whole thing. Their offensive line, which is one of the best in football, played horrendously, which was stunning to me. Just stunning.
I mean, they're accusing Baltimore of using some claps or some noises or some signal calls to draw them off sides or make them false starts. I don't know, but 8 of them.
8 of them. If the refs aren't catching them after 8, then then you're doing something wrong.
And with Baltimore, they still have 2 left with Pittsburgh, so they control the narrative there. In the next couple of weeks, they've got 2 of the next 3 games are Cleveland and the Jets.
The biggest problem for Baltimore, and they're going to win a lot of those games, don't get me wrong, but you can see them losing 1 of the 2 to Pittsburgh simply because if you get out in front of them and you take away Henry and you force Lamar to be a passer and you force that defense to stop somebody, I don't have any confidence that they can do it.
Yep.
I mean, they're good. I mean, if they're clicking, they can beat anybody in the NFL any week, anytime, anywhere. Just getting to that point.
Yeah. All right, 6 seed is Buffalo. They lost to the Dolphins 30-13. Dolphins pulled off a massive upset.
Kind of a predictable one for me, G, because they had such the emotional win against the Chiefs, and then they just came back and laid down. It was kind of like you almost kind of expected it because Buffalo's kind of not that good. It's Josh Allen, James Cook, and a pretty good offensive line and a beat up defense. And I don't know. I don't. This is not the same Buffalo team we've seen, Kev.
No, definitely not.
No, they're missing the weapons on the outside.
They have no receivers. Gino talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
And the defense is not the Buffalo defense we've seen the last couple of years.
Especially no Ed Oliver, a guy that makes a difference in the middle. These things, it hurts them. They don't have anyone with that explosiveness.
Okay, 7 seed is Jacksonville. They lost to Houston 36-29.
What a cover that was for some people. What a bad beat that was.
Davis Mills took over after a C.J. Stroud injury, led the fourth quarter comeback. He erased a 19-point deficit to stun the Jags. So Jags are at 5-4. Texans right behind them at 4-5 on the outside. The only other team on the outside looking in is Kansas City at 5-4, who is on the bye this week.
Chiefs play the Broncos this week, so
correct.
The Broncos can either bury them, or the Chiefs can start a comeback. Because if the Chiefs lose this game, they will not win the division. It'll be 3.5 out. They will not catch up. Yeah. And they'll be lucky to get into the playoff at that point. But but again, it's at Denver. That's not an easy place to play. And the Broncos are good. I mean, so the Broncos defense is very good. So we're going to find out what we get.
All right, NFC. So Philadelphia leads right now at 7-2. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Packers 10-7 Monday night. Very cold, hard battle. This was a game I'm sure you two loved. There's still something not right about the Eagle offense.
No.
Obviously, the A.J. Brown comments are all over the place right now. He's actually telling fantasy players, if you have me, don't play me. So,
I mean, even when the referees refuse to call false start on the push.
They refuse.
I mean, that was blatant.
They don't care. To be honest with you, you're seeing what Jalen Hurts really is, though. Jalen Hurts was never an accurate quarterback in college. He's not a great quarterback here. He can run the ball well, but he's getting older. And now all he's got is the tush-push play. Barkley's been held in check this year. And they're still winning, by the way. Remind you of anybody? Reminds me a little bit of the Chiefs last year, who just kept squeaking by, getting wins. Then they ran into a buzzsaw called the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and they got embarrassed. Anything can happen. The Eagles could run right through this, but they get a huge game. The game of the week this week, they get Detroit, which we got robbed out of as the NFC Championship game last year. Nothing against Washington pulling off the great win. They just didn't have the horses to stick up with Philly last year. But we want to see Detroit-Philly. This is the matchup that will let us know if Philly can rise to the occasion against the good teams, I think.
All right, the rest of the NFC I'll go through quick. So Seattle is in second right now at 7-2. They destroyed the Cardinals 44-22 this week.
2 defensive touchdowns.
The third seed is Detroit. They're at 6-3. They destroyed the Commanders 44-22 this week.
Back to back. 44-22.
They had 3 games at the 4 o'clock window, and they were all 40s to 20s. There was not one good game to put on. It was awful.
The 4 seed is the Bucks, who we talked about earlier, lost to the Packers this week. They're at 6-3. The 5 seed is the Rams. They destroyed San Francisco 42-26. The 6 seed is the Bears, who we talked about, beat the Giants. 7 seed is Green Bay, and they lost to the Eagles. And then right on the outside, looking in, is San Francisco at 6-4. And then underneath that is Carolina at 5-5, and Carolina lost to New Orleans 17-7. Honestly, a win there could have really put them in some kind of little position there.
Yeah,
it's a home loss to a team playing a rookie quarterback that's like 37 years old or whatever it is. But they lost. I mean, that's a bad loss for them.
By the way, Darren, you mentioned the late game window.
Awful.
That was a very nice 3-team parlay. Thank you. I had all three favorites. All 3 favorites won by a lot.
I did well with college. I didn't bet the pros, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have lost a couple. So I was happy.
All right. This week coming up, Steelers, Bengals. We're going to see if Rodgers actually has anything left, because after last week, I don't know what he has left.
He's got the Bengals defense. He's fine.
Yeah,
exactly.
We saw Justin Fields play well against them.
Thursday night, Jets are at the Pats. We got Bills, Bucks on Sunday. Jags and the Chargers.
That's an important game.
Darren mentioned Chiefs are at the Broncos. Eagles, Lions, it will be a good game Sunday night. And then one of the games I'm looking forward to is Rams home for the Seahawks. That should be a good game. So
the winner takes over the lead in the NFC West. They're both teams playing real well. Games in LA, but that doesn't mean anything because the Rams' home field advantage doesn't really exist. It's better than the Chargers, but it doesn't really exist.
All right, and so this
you skipped the Sunday morning game, the big Washington-Miami for Madrid.
I did skip that game. You're right.
Or the big Monday night game between Vegas and Dallas.
Oh,
and I did skip that game as well.
All over that game for Monday night.
All right, we did have a little sad news this week. So Paul Tagliabue, who was former NFL commissioner for 17 years from 1989 to 2006, passed away. He succeeded Pete Rozelle and preceded Roger Goodell. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. A couple of things under his watch: labor, peace, financial structure, free agency, and salary cap. He implemented a lot of that. We saw the league expand from 28 to 32 teams. More than 20 new stadiums were built during his tenure. He negotiated some massive TV contracts. The NFL Network is one of the big ones. And he established the Rooney Rule. Another little piece of his thing. He was also there, obviously, during 2001, during September 11th. And he was instrumental in keeping the New Orleans Saints there after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Any comments on former commissioner?
It was a solid commissioner. He was good. He didn't get booed as much as his predecessor or his successor. So,
yeah. Also, being in charge of the NFL is a pretty good job, by the way.
Doesn't suck. Doesn't suck.
Talk about generating the money train, man. Let me tell you.
No doubt about it.
All right. Before we move on, let me give you the King's Crowns bets for this week. King's Ransom bets. Here we go. I'm on this 6-point tease. I haven't hit one yet, but we're going to do another one. So, my 3-team 6-point tease is Tampa, Pitt, and Houston. So, I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus 11.5 against the Bills. I'm going to take Pittsburgh down to plus 0.5 point against the Bengals. And I'm going to take Houston minus 0.5 against the Titans. That's a 6-point tease, 3-team. My other one is I'm going to take the Green Bay game. I'm going to take Green Bay minus 6.5 on an alternate line, a Jacobs touchdown, and Love 2 passing touchdowns plus 238. And Darren, you're going to love this one. The Seahawk Ram game. Ready?
Yep.
I got a 3-team, 3-person touchdown parlay, paying plus 675 anytime touchdowns for Nakua, Kyrian Williams, and JSN. Plus 675, Darren. I know you'd
That's
like
really
that.
good for the 3 best players in the game.
Wow.
I know. Plus
You
675. We're going to take those. Those are the King's Ransom bets for week 11, by the way. Week 11. It's just unbelievable how fast
Flying
goes
by.
by. All right. We're going to head over to the college.
All right.
Woo!
And here we
Welcome,
are. We
Dan.
just have a couple of weeks left now, and we're going to start saying goodbye to some teams, Kev. So we're going to start off by saying bye-bye to Iowa, who looked really good until they didn't. They had the lead real late against Oregon, and Oregon kind of stuck back on them and took it away, Kev.
What was amazing in that game, Kirk Herbstreit on College Game Day, he predicted 16-15 Iowa with a field goal under 2 minutes left. Iowa was a touchdown with under 2 minutes left. They took the lead 16-15, gave up the field goal drive. Herbie was that close to the prediction.
I had Iowa plus 6, and I was very excited. But nonetheless, I was all over Iowa last week. I didn't bet a money line, but I almost did. Missouri didn't really put up a fight, so it was easy to say goodbye to them this week. San Diego State flat out embarrassed themselves in Hawaii. Bye-bye. Yeah. Memphis lost at home to another unranked team. Now they have no chance really to play in the playoff. Bye-bye, Memphis. TCU and Washington were both long shots, and now they're no shots. Bye-bye, guys. Navy went from undefeated 2 weeks ago to greatly defeated the last 2 weeks, and bye-bye to them as well, right? So we sit there and we say goodbye to these teams. Now we look at the latest rankings, Kevin. We're going to jump in by conference a little bit.
Yep.
So start with the SEC, where we still have 7 teams alive, in my opinion, right?
Yep.
Vandy survived Auburn. They shouldn't have, but they did. They found a way to win the game, so they stay alive. For Vanderbilt to get in, they have to beat Tennessee on the road, last game of the season. That's their game. That's their game. Big rivalry. They've been dominating that series for years, but they might be the better team this year, Kev.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, Tennessee's only ranked 23. Tennessee doesn't have to beat anybody really that good.
No, not at all.
And, you know, Vandy at least has wins at LSU when they were still playing okay. Missouri, you know, so they've got a couple of decent wins there. Vandy still has a real chance.
Absolutely. Then we go to Oklahoma, who needs to win out. All right. They have to go to Bama this week, which is a nice start for that. Missouri and LSU. Now, if they get by Bama, they should win the other 2, but I don't know if they can get by Bama. I don't think they can, in my opinion. We'll get to the picks in a little bit, but that's a huge game this week. 3:30 on ABC for all those interested. Then we get to Texas, who might be the only team that could get in with the 3 losses. And the reason why is because they beat Vandy and Oklahoma. So beat Oklahoma neutral, beat Vandy at home. And now this, but they have to start off. They have to go to Georgia. Then they play hopes to Arkansas and A&M. They have 2 really tough games. If they go 2-1, they have a shot, but they need a little help to get there, Kev.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you said, you know, it's got to be really tough. You know, at Georgia and home for Texas A&M, they've got 2 chances for a huge win, which you know would offset a 3rd loss to me.
I think so too.
It still gives them that. If there's anybody with 3 losses, it would be them.
They're the only ones. They beat the other 2 competitors. So now the top of the conference, A&M's undefeated. They went through the 3-game road trip and they won them all. Right? They still have South Carolina, Samford, which are both games they should win. Sorry, Kev. And then they go to Texas. So that will be the only tough one. But even with that loss, I don't think anything happens to them. Bama's in good shape. Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois at Auburn. They have room to lose one of those games. The only one I can see them losing is Auburn, but I know Oklahoma's fighting for their lives. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Georgia also in good shape, but they play Texas and they have to play at Georgia Tech. If they lost both of those games, there'd be some questions. So Georgia has to win at least one of those 2 games to solidify, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
And Ole Miss plays Florida, and they play at Mississippi State. They should win both of those games, and they should be fine. So I think that this conference is 4, maybe 5.
Yep, I agree with you there. Now, with Texas A&M, to me, yeah, they're 3. They're undefeated. You know, you still think they're fine, but they have the number 1 strength of record, they have the 15th toughest schedule, but they're behind the number 2 and number 3 strength of records, who have the 41st and 33rd strength of schedule.
Listen,
Make it make sense, please.
It doesn't make sense, basically, because there's no way to discount a road win, even though it was on a botched extra point. A road win at Notre Dame is the best win anybody's going to have all year, in my opinion.
Yeah. How are they not number 1?
They should be number 1.
Hairs there.
But you're 100% right, and they should be 1 because there is going to be a difference when you're playing against seeds as we get into this.
Big Ten, the rest of it. Yep. Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss. Obviously, it's who beat who.
Mm-hmm.
Texas ahead of Oklahoma because they beat them head to head as well.
Yep, and that's it. Texas beat Oklahoma. Texas beat Vandy. So if everything's equal with those two teams, Texas is the team.
Yep.
Big Ten. Okay, Michigan and USC still on the outside looking in, but they're the only 2 on life support, right? Yep. Michigan's got to go to – they host Ohio State. That could be a game that changes it for them if they win at Maryland and Northwestern. Yep. USC has Iowa at home, has UCLA at home, have to go to Oregon. If they ever won that game at Oregon, not as impressive a win nearly as Ohio State as we know. It's the only chance that they have. I don't think that's going to be enough, but they did beat Michigan. So those 2 teams are the real outside looking in my opinion, because to me, it's really a 3-team league.
USC's only chance is to beat Oregon because then that gives them the head-to-head over Oregon.
Mm-hmm. That's it. It's a 3-team league that could fall to 2.
And, Oregon we'll get to when we talk Big 12 a little bit too.
Well, Oregon's Big 10. We don't have to get to them in Big 12.
I know, but when we get to Big 12, I'll also bring up Oregon.
Oh, you have an Oregon point. Okay. So here's the thing. Oregon's in good shape because they got by this really tough game at Iowa, which they got real lucky in that. That was a well-played, physical, nasty, bad weather game with the
Iowa
best
game
condition in all of football, by the way.
They played an Iowa game and beat Iowa at their game.
Dante Moore impressed me the way he kind of held together and got them back. He hadn't completed a pass in the entire second half, and then went 4 for 4 to start the drive that led them down the field for the win. Well done. And the wave is still the coolest thing that goes on in college football. I'm sorry. The Iowa wave at the end of the first quarter to the Children's Hospital is if you have a heart, it melts at that very moment.
Yep.
Indiana held on, okay, at Penn State. Penn State gave him a game, the toe tap touchdown in the back of the end zone. I don't know how he got that second.
Hell of a catch.
That was amazing.
Hell of a catch.
It really is. And, Kurt Cignetti is a very interesting guy because he's kind of a prick. And, they say, well, you've never won at Penn State. And they say, well, this team's never played at Penn State. I mean, he's like he's got an arrogance about it. But you know what? He's made Indiana a viable football school, which it's never been 2 years in a row here. And then we get Ohio State, who just seems to roll over everybody. And listen, I know Texas A&M maybe on paper should be the number 1 team. When I watch both teams, Ohio State seems to blow everybody out. I'd probably put them still as my number 1, but I would have A&M 2 and I would have Indiana 3 right now. But it's close. It's real close.
Yep. Like I say, you're splitting hairs, but
still maybe a 3-team league right now with Oregon in there, in my opinion, though.
Maybe it's my SEC bias.
You want to do Big 12 or ACC next, Kev?
Big 12.
All right, let's go right into it. So here we go, right? Texas Tech, as they've done against everybody, beat the crap out of BYU, right? They were the better team. BYU couldn't do anything. And they jump right back in where they're like right now the 6th seed in the playoff.
Yeah.
BYU's the 12, which would technically have them out right now, despite only having the 1 loss at Texas Tech, which is not a bad loss. They do have the field goal win over Utah. Utah has lost to both of those teams, and they'll need a lot of help to get into the championship game to have a shot. Houston has a record, but their best win is at ASU. They haven't beaten anybody. Cincinnati has a lot to say about this. They play BYU this week. They could leapfrog BYU with a win, even though I don't think Cincinnati will get anywhere. And that's really what we're down to. Everybody else is kind of falling out in this conference.
Yeah, yep. It's Texas Tech clearly in. I mean, that was dominant.
Oh, they look great.
The way that defense shut down BYU. Now, BYU, when you look at them against Oregon, they both have 1 loss. The strength of record is about the same. Strength of schedule is about the same. Oregon lost at home to Indiana. BYU lost at Texas Tech for their 1 loss each. How is Oregon 4 spots ahead of BYU?
It seems to be a Big Ten bias this year a little bit, Kev.
And 1 in, 1 out. That's a huge difference here, 8 and 12. this year.
Well, listen, it's in and out.
Yeah.
It's in and it's out. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, it's a great point.
That's the second biggest argument I have about two teams.
So now we get to the ACC, Kev, the most interesting conference in America. And I'm going to start with this. Gino, you're going to love this. There is a scenario, okay, if you look at it, where the ACC does not get a team in.
Yep.
And the scenario is that Duke wins the championship. And right now, if they play the championship game, it would be Duke, who lost at UConn last week, against Georgia Tech. If everything went as it is right now, those two teams would play in the final, okay? Right now, Duke is ranked below both James Madison and USF. All you promise is the top four conferences get the automatic bid, and then the fifth conference is that P5 conference.
Right.
That would put the top four with USF getting the 4 if they got through, and James Madison having the 5. So where we're at right now is that, and Miami is still higher seeded than Georgia Tech based on the win over Notre Dame. So now the ACC's best chance is not one, don't let Duke win the championship, but number two is, Miami moving up, Miami playing out the string well and losing and moving up a little bit. That's really what has to happen. They have a shot at an at-large. Georgia Tech, to me, has to win their games. If they beat Georgia, the last game of the season, I think that they'll find their way in even with 2 losses. I think that's my thought.
Wait, so you're telling me the ACC could get 2 teams in?
They can get 0. They can get 2.
Okay.
I doubt
2 is a long shot, but Miami can play themselves up.
Pitt's got a brutal schedule, but they somehow run the table.
Well, they have to win at they have to beat at home Notre Dame this week. That's a big game.
Notre Dame at Georgia Tech and Miami.
Yeah.
If you can win those 3, you deserve to be in.
Well, here's the thing, right? So now let's say this. Say that they win the first 2 and lose to Miami. Does that propel Miami up?
Well, now you got both of them would have beaten Notre Dame.
And that's why you have a chance at 2 or a chance at 0 in this league. The 0 is almost infinitesimal. Not that Duke can't win it out, but I don't think Duke's going to win out their 3 games. They have a tough little road ahead of them to start anyway. But this is going to be a real interesting, finish here in the ACC. Probably gets the 1 bid, whoever wins the championship. But Miami could play themselves in.
And you even left out SMU. They're unranked,
playing well, but they got blown out by TCU. I mean, they've had some bad losses for teams that aren't great.
At Wake in a brutal 13-12 game.
Oh, that was awful.
That may have been the worst college game.
That was a perfect Wake game. It was outstanding. I loved every second of it.
The double overtime loss to Baylor. I mean, like I said, Duke's got losses at Tulane, at UConn.
Yep.
Miami and NC State this week is a sneaky, tough game for Miami.
Well, NC State's beating everybody that they're supposed to beat in a lot of ways.
NC State's beating Virginia and Georgia Tech.
The only problem with them is they got blown out at Notre Dame.
Yeah. So this conference is wide open. Miami's sitting there, like, so right now, highest ranked at 15th, but they are sitting technically 7th place in the conference.
Right now, they have no shot to play in the championship. I mean, very little. It's less than 5%, G.
And you look at teams with the same record and what the committee has done. How is Miami sitting there at 15 and Notre Dame at 9? When Miami beat Notre Dame.
Because Notre Dame doesn't have any bad losses. They lost on a botched extra point against A&M.
Understood.
And they lost, what was it, a 3-point game against Miami? Miami was the better team that night, though. Miami was better.
Yeah. And Miami's losses were Louisville and at SMU. Neither one's a really good loss. They're both kind of bad, but how is there six spots difference between the two of them as well?
No, you're right. And 2 teams I skipped when I said bye-bye. Louisville's almost a bye-bye after losing at home to Cal. And Virginia, with the brutal loss at home to Wake, they went from being in to being way out. So, I mean, those are 2 other bye-bye squads.
But somehow Louisville also has wins at Pitt, at Miami, who we've mentioned. That just shows how distorted this ACC is this year.
It is a nightmare right now. So that's going to be interesting to see what we get there. And then I think it'll still be a 1-bid league. There's a chance at 2. There's a chance at 0. I think it's a 1. I'm hoping it's Georgia Tech because I like watching Haynes King play. I'm being a little biased. He's just one of those guys that's fun to watch. So the American, Memphis gets beaten by Tulane at home.
Great pick by Gino.
There you go. So right now, if you were to look at it, North Texas, USF, Tulane are the three teams that are on top in the quest to play in the championship game with Navy. Now, because Navy only has the one loss. The problem with Navy, unfortunately, is they've looked awful in the last two games. Quarterback's banged up, and it's hard to imagine them running the table the rest of the way.
You just wonder, what could Horvath have played last week, or did the coach say it's Notre Dame going to lose anyway? Let's rest them up. Let's get them ready for USF this week, which is a huge game in the American Conference. And
Losers
then you got
out.
a bye week.
The losers flat out.
Yep.
And it's hard to imagine USF losing this game at home, but you never know what happens.
Yep.
And then, Tulane has been – they've lost twice. I mean, USF has lost twice. North Texas got blown out by USF, but they've beaten everybody else. The American is going to come down to the wire. And unless they keep beating each other up, they'll probably get that 12 spot. If not, it opens it up for James Madison, who hasn't beaten anybody. Their only losses to Louisville, who we've mentioned 800 times in this episode. But they should be able to run the table. They have a tough one with they won a game with Wazoo they have a tough one with Wazoo and Coastal Carolina. Those are the last two games coming up. If they run the table, we'll see what happens there.
And of course, our team from last year, Appalachian State.
Yes,
this week.
Yeah, I mean that they're supposed to win that one. That one's the one they're supposed to win, but we're going to see what happens there. So right now the playoff is all over the place. It's a little bit nuts.
Yep. The only other game I wanted to mention from this weekend was in the American Conference. Army Temple.
Great game.
Temple scored late in the third quarter, scored a field goal to make it 14-13. Army ran the last play of the third quarter, come out, run 6 plays, punt. Temple gets the ball back, 3 and out, does not gain a yard, punt it. Army takes over at their own 42 with 9:53 left. How is it possible to run 18 plays, run out the clock, and not score from the 42?
Because they kept getting first downs, and they kneeled on it inside the 1.
18 plays, 53 yards. Took off the last 9:53. So Temple had the ball 1:19 in the entire fourth quarter.
It's crazy.
That's Army football. I mean, in a nutshell.
That's what they do well.
Another big win for Army, getting them even that much closer to bowl eligibility.
One more win, and they're in, and they should be able to get it this week against Tulsa. If they do that, I'll be happy with the way they started losing to Tarleton State. To get the bowl bid would be great. Yep. So this week, this is the slate, G. Okay, these are the big games. We have number 9 Notre Dame heading to Pitt, number 22 Pitt. That's at noon. ABC game. ABC has the slate again, like they always do. We have Virginia at Duke. Only important because Duke right now at 5-4 is the front runner with only one conference loss to get in. So 19 Virginia at unranked Duke. Also in the ACC, you get North Carolina State at number 15 Miami. ESPN game at 3:30. Iowa USC is a big game on paper, but let's not go nuts because neither team really is on the inside of the tournament right now. Utah, to keep their slim hopes alive, they have to go to Baylor, a 7:00 game on ESPN2. And then we get to the two big ones, okay? We're going to pick them both this week, guys. We're going to start off in Tuscaloosa. 3:30 start. We have 7-2 Oklahoma visiting 8-1 Alabama. It's not Bear Bryant against Barry Switzer. It's a little bit different at this stage of our lives now. But 11 seed versus the 4 seed. Last I saw, Bama's a 6-point choice in this one. Gino, who do you like in the first of our double dip here this week?
All right. At some point, Alabama is going to lose one of these games against a top 15 competition. I think it happens this week. It's going to completely muddy up the whole SEC. I'm going to take Oklahoma on the road. I think they shut down Alabama's run game. They make Alabama go one-dimensional with the pass. I'm taking Oklahoma plus the 6. Kev?
I disagree. Ty Simpson's going to embellish his Heisman Trophy candidacy here. I think Alabama's a much better team. I think this is a last hurrah for Oklahoma. I'm going to take Alabama late in the 6 at home.
I'm going to break the tie on Kev's side. I think it's going to be closer than we think. I think it'll be a little low scoring, but Alabama does something interesting. They are a time of possession team through the pass. They don't run the ball well. Oklahoma stops the run perfectly well, like Gino pointed out. I think Alabama is very accurate throwing the football, and I think they find a way at home to get this thing won. I don't think it's a blowout. I think it's a close game, but I think they win it by 10 late. I'll say that Alabama wins this one 27-17. And then the nightcap. Oh, back to Sanford Stadium, boys. Between the Hedges, Athens, ABC 7:30. We have the Texas Longhorns playing the Georgia Bulldogs in a rematch from last year. Championship game. Georgia also, last I saw, I believe was a 6-point choice, unless there's something changed on that. Gee, where you leaning toward on this one?
All right, so this is a high-stakes game, right? This is as high stakes as you can get. Texas, they probably need to win this to keep the playoff hopes alive because a loss gives them 3, and then they're really close to being out. Georgia probably makes the playoffs if they lose this game, but a win really cements their position in the playoff here. I think this is close, but I think playing the game in Athens is a difference maker. I think it's probably a TD game. I'm going to take Georgia to cover minus the 6. I don't know, 27-20. Give me, I think it's a touchdown game. I think Georgia comes out on top. Give me Georgia minus the 6. Kev?
Yeah. So much of me says, Georgia under the lights between the hedges. But Georgia's played so many close games this year against good teams. Texas just seems to be playing a little bit better the last few weeks. I think Arch is finally starting to settle in a little bit. I think Georgia does pull this one off. I have a feeling it's a field goal game late. So I'm going to take Texas getting the 6 points.
Okay.
So we're going to let Darren break the tie again.
I'm going to disagree with both of you. I think Texas wins the game. I think that Texas wins a close game. Ooh. I don't know why. They have not been impressive. Georgia has not rushed the passer like Georgia usually does, and that's what throws Arch off. I think that Arch finds a way to get the job done. I think Texas talent is starting to show a little bit more. I think Sark's a good coach, and I think that they find a way to sneak one out here. I'm going to say Texas wins this one a little bit more of a shootout than the others. I'm going to say this one's going to be a little bit more of a I don't know, 30-27 win for the Longhorns. And that's where we finish with the heads up games. Gino, why don't you give me another one that you like this week?
All right. I like Pitt. I like Pitt plus the 12.5.
I'll cross mine out. Okay.
This is Notre Dame's biggest test that's left. The Panthers rank 11th nationally in passing yards a game. They quietly have the best run defense in the country. It's a good formula to push the Irish. I think the Irish are playing for their lives. I think Notre Dame probably winds up winning this game, but I think the 12.5 is too many points. Give me Pitt plus the 12.5. Kev?
I think off the way they played last week, they're going to be licking their wounds a little bit. They know that they're desperation time. They need a win. They're home. I'm going to take BYU lane 4.5 versus TCU.
Another one to cross out for me. Okay.
Darren?
I'm going to take Georgia Tech minus 16.5 against BC.
There's one to cross out for me.
I just think that they're a lot better. BC sucks, and I think that Georgia Tech finds a way, even though it's on the road, to just kind of get even and get angry after that one loss.
All right, Darren, I have to take one big number a week, it seems like.
I'm ready to cross it off then.
Wisconsin's coming off its first Big Ten win of the season.
Damn it, I got to cross this one off too. You guys all right.
I don't see a second week in a row performance from them. I think Signetti tries to assist Mendoza's Heisman campaign. I think it's stat padding down the stretch here. Listen, I think Indy is already preparing for stuff. I think the talent gap is too large. I think the Hoosiers win big, like 42-7 big. Give me Indiana minus the 29.5.
By the way, Wisconsin announced that Fickle will be back next year, which I don't really get. Anyway.
Yeah. Kev?
this team's, we mentioned them. They've played a couple of teams real tough, a couple of big wins, a couple of upsets. I think NC State goes into Miami. I've got it at 14.5. I think that's just too many. Miami's a better team, but 14.5 just seems like too much. NC State's sneaky good. So I'm going to take NC State to cover the 14.5.
Okay. Darren?
Well, you guys left me one of my games on my sheet. So I'm going to take Washington minus 16.5 against Purdue. Whenever they're home, Washington's dangerous. They played like crap last week on the road. I think they bounce back and they blow Purdue out. I think they win this game by about 28 points. I'll say 42-14 Washington.
I want you to know that I went away from the group of 5 conferences because I jinxed the hell out of Memphis last week. But if South Florida is going to do something, this is the potential for them to beat Navy. This is a big one for them, right? They really need this win if they're going to cement themselves as the team, right? I mean, this is it. It's only 10.5, Darren. I didn't take USF minus the 10.5, but I really wanted to. But I'm sticking with just the 4 this week.
Navy's never easy to play with. All right, and that should wrap us up for college. I know we went a little long on that, but Kev's got some gems before we go back to that.
Yep. So we know the Jets and Giants have been bad for a few years now. You realize it's September 18th is the last time that they both won in the same day of 2022. The Pats-Bucks game, this was the first time since 2000 that the winning quarterback was not Tom Brady.
That's pretty wild.
Sean Kane was the winner for Tampa in 2000. Brady won in 05, 09, 13, and 17 with New England, and in 21 with Tampa.
That's great.
Green Bay currently ranks last, punt return average, 5.5 yards per punt return. They are the last team to average 5 yards or fewer, the 2020 Packers. The team before that to average 5 or fewer, the 2019 Packers.
Wow.
A couple of college. The Wisconsin-Washington game, 13-10. The Wisconsin leading passer was Sean West with 24 yards. He's their punter. The starting quarterback, Carter Smith, 3 for 12 for 8 yards. Hunter Simmons, 2 for 3 for 16 yards. Danny O'Neal, 0 for 2, no yards.
Let's keep fickle.
UConn quarterback, Joe Fagnano, 25 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season. First guy to do that since Marcus Mariota in 2013. 382 straight passes without an interception, just past Russell Wilson for second place NCAA history all time.
That's awesome.
Louisiana Tech's Colby Cameron in 2011 and 2012 at 444 consecutive.
That's awesome, though.
So we'll see in about 2 weeks if Joe Fagnano can eclipse that record.
No, that's cool. That's real cool.
And in Major League Baseball, Manager of the Year was announced.
Yep.
Prior to this year, back-to-back AL Manager of the Year happened once. Kevin Cash, 2021 Rays.
Mm-hmm.
National League Manager of the Year, back-to-back, happened once. Bobby Cox, 04 and 05. This year, both Stephen Voigt and Pat Murphy have gone back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
And both deserve it.
Yep. So those were my quick hidden gems for the week.
All right. We'll go around the world. Darren, where do you want to go?
Major League Baseball.
Hit it.
Okay, so, Class A, this whole little case that goes on, he was scheduled to make $38.1 million and gave it all away for $12,000. You got to love this. By allowing people to bet on specific pitches. You can't really make that up. That's fucking crazy. Excuse my language. That's
so Class A and Ortiz were indicted on charges stemming from alleged gambling misconduct, specifically manipulating bets on individual pitches. The DOJ has alleged that they repeatedly altered the pitch's velocity or outcome in coordination with bettors, and that in some instances, the defendants received bribes and kickback payments in exchange for rigging pitches. That's unbelievable.
Because and they changed the rule now. You can only bet up to $200 on a bet now. But he
blew
a $38 million contract for $12,000 in kickbacks.
Yeah. So the
You can't make it up.
The sportsbooks placed a $200 limit on pitch level micro bets, as well as excluding them from potential parlays. And MLB has noted that the creation of a strict bet limit on this type of bet and the ban on parlaying them reduces the payout for these markets in the ability to circumvent the new limit. So they think they've put something in place. Listen, I'm sorry, but this won't be the end of it. We'll hear more about this in the next couple of years. There's just too many bet types on everything. We're going to keep hearing about stuff like this.
If they kept it simpler, to the games, the line spreads, this and that, I think that's a little easier to monitor, a little easier to deal with. I mean, like I said,
agree.
Individual, my first pitch is going to be a ball.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's one of the game that he threw the pitch in the dirt. The batter swung, so it was a strike, and he's getting threatening messages. How come that wasn't a ball? I threw it in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's only so much the pitcher can do.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one where Ortiz bounced it like 7 feet in front of the plate just to make sure.
Yeah.
Kev, you mentioned Coach of the Year. We also had Rookie of the Years. Drake Baldwin of the Braves and Nick Kurtz of the A's. They both won.
Yep.
Drake Baldwin beat out Cade Horton. Nick Kurtz beat out Jacob Wilson. And other than those guys, everybody else was kind of lower on the list. They also gave out the Cy Youngs today. No surprise, Skubal and Skeens won Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
Today, we kind of figured that was probably going to happen anyway. Any other baseball points before we move on?
Well, it was for Skubal, first time since Pedro that an AL pitcher went back-to-back with the Cy Young. And, so just 25 years. I mean, it's pretty wild.
Yep.
Okay. Where do you want to go next? NBA?
Sure.
So let's talk about Lenny Wilkens, passed away at the age of 88. He holds the rare distinction of being a 3-time inductee into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame as a player in 89, as a coach in 98, and as assistant coach for the 92 U.S. Olympics Dream Team in 2010. He played 15 seasons in the NBA. He was an NBA All-Star 9 times. He was an NBA All-Star MVP in 1971, averaged 16.5 points. He was named to the NBA's 50th and 75th anniversary teams. He coached the Knicks. We know that. He was Coach of the Year in 94. Guys, Lenny Wilkens.
Not even the playing, but, he was also named to the list of the 15 greatest NBA coaches in 2022 in conjunction with their 75th anniversary.
Yep.
During his career in 94-95, he set the record for wins. It's been since passed by Don Nelson and Greg Popovich, so he's still third on the list. Most games coached, 89 more than Nelson, 400 more than anybody else. Also has a rare distinction of the most losses, of course, 1155. But that's almost like a Cy Young trivia question. Who leads the major leagues in most losses?
Yeah, exactly.
Classy guy, classy coach.
Yeah,
legend player, legend coach. Did everything right. Coached some great teams. Kev really did.
I mean, his biggest thing was he had some of those terrific Cleveland teams that unfortunately played at the same time as some guy named Jordan.
And Craig Elo guarding best he could guarding Jordan. Yeah. And Mark Price and Brad Daugherty and Larry Nance and all these great players.
Those are some real good teams. He did win one title with the Seattle Supersonics.
Yep. That was the DJ, but that's when Brent started doing the nicknames for the Seahawks. Jack Sigma, all those guys back in the day. Great coach. We also lost Michael Ray Richardson this week. Sweetness. Sugar, I should say, not sweetness. My bad. But he was listen, drug problems that derailed his career. He played for both the Knicks and the Nets, and he was really good on both teams. Had an amazing career in Europe. He was a gifted player, and unfortunately, substance abuse halted him a little bit here. But if you watched him play when he was on, we were kids, but he was a fun player to watch, Kev.
Yeah, him and Williams and all, those are some teams.
Williams and Sly Williams and that whole group, absolutely.
Bernard King played with a little bit there too. Like I said, unfortunately, the drugs just got him. I mean, otherwise, he was a talent.
He was great.
All right.
Outstanding.
Any other NBA?
Well, the Knicks, I had them ready to say they were undefeated at home, but nope, they lost tonight to Orlando, so they're 7-1, broke their 5-game winning streak. They're playing Mike Brown basketball. They're 6th in the league in points per game.
That's what they do. They're running the ball up. They're trying to figure it out. Hart's been fine coming off the bench. They're playing more players. Now he's got to see what happens.
Yep.
Anything else in the world of NBA or any other sport you guys wanted to touch on?
NHL, Pittsburgh and Nashville preparing to play a 2-game series in Stockholm, Sweden later this week. Interesting of note.
Absolutely.
The Islanders beat the Rangers 5-0 at the Garden, which at the time gave the Islanders more wins at the Garden than the Rangers. Rangers did match that, beating Nashville Monday night. The Islanders also beat the Devils 3-2 in overtime. After starting off 0-3, they're 8-3-2 in their last 13. They're playing good hockey right now.
Playing good hockey.
Now comes the test. They have a 5-game road trip: Vegas, Utah to play the Mammoth. That's gonna take some getting used to. Colorado, Dallas, and Detroit. So good test for them coming up here.
Listen, they're playing well. Horvat's second in the league in goals scored. It's a nice stat for him. Devils are playing great. They're the number 1 seed in the East as of last night. I don't know if that changed. The Rangers have basically the same amount of points as the Islanders going into today. So when you go through all three teams are competitive right now. We'll see what we can what will happen. The Avalanche and Stars leading the West. There's a lot of good things happening in the wonderful world of hockey.
Well, the entire Eastern Conference, from New Jersey, who's 23 points in number 1. There's a bunch of teams. Buffalo's got 14. Everybody else is 17 or above. So basically 6 points separates the entire conference except Buffalo.
It's crazy.
So nobody's off to a blistering start.
Nope, it's still wide open for everybody.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Just a couple of quick points. College hoops started up. St. John's Red Storm lost to Alabama in a high-scoring thriller over the weekend. A lot of big games started out. Good slate to start. Arizona beat the defending champs Florida, who then came back and beat Florida State. But Florida played the 7'9" kid, so the tallest kid ever to play got to play. Garbage time. North Carolina beat Kansas. Michigan State over Arkansas was a great game, by the way. Gonzaga beat Oklahoma. Iowa State blew out Mississippi State. Michigan survived by Wake Forest Demon Deacons by 1 in overtime. That killed me. Louisville beat Kentucky for the first time in 5 years. Illinois over Texas Tech. Great game. Toppin's going to be one of the players of the year this year at Texas Tech. Watch him, Gino. You're going to love him. And Gonzaga blew out Creighton last night. So we have had some pretty good games already to start. College hoops is up, running, and rolling right now.
Okay.
And that's all I had.
All right.
I have a couple of buried treasures if you boys are interested.
Yes.
Time for buried treasures.
All right, here we go. So this is first one's easy, but Kev will get it right away, and so will Gino. Only one player hit 50-plus homers between 1965 and 1990. George Foster, 52. Then the Mets signed him.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Okay. Remember the movie Friday Night Lights, Gino?
Yes.
Okay, remember that coin toss that they had at the truck stop? Well, it happened last week also. Okay, we had for the bottom seed, okay, it was 2, 3, and 8 teams and a 3, 7, and 1 team. Oh, I'm sorry, 3, 3, and 8s, my bad. That were fighting for the last spot in the playoff. They went to a truck stop, a gas station, do a coin flip. It was between Amarillo High, Lubbock High, and Amarillo Caprock. Amarillo High drew tails. The other two threw heads. Amarillo High goes to the Texas playoffs. Only 5 Hall of Fame pitchers have more Ks than innings pitched. Some of them are easy. One of them is difficult. So we'll start with Koufax, right?
Okay.
Now give me the automatic strikeout king of all time.
Ryan.
Okay, 2. Give me a big 6'11" lefty that struck out everybody he faced.
Randy Johnson.
Give me the guy that threw down Don Zimmer.
Pedro
Martinez.
And the 5th is Trevor Hoffman.
Wow.
I had no idea. I could have given you guys guesses all day. I would have had to say Padre reliever for you guys to get that one.
That's true.
I was thinking Mariano.
Yeah, there was a chance of Mariano, but it ended up being him. Matthew Stafford's had quite the career, right? I mean, you sit there and watch how great he's playing. His win this week got him to 500 for the first time in his career. He's 115, 115, and 1.
Wow.
So just amazing.
Some
The
brutal,
last pitcher to throw
Detroit
100
teams.
strikes in a game. Not 100 pitches, but 100 strikes in a game was Randy Johnson in 2002. Last 2 ones. Craig Cox. Remember him, a little fighter? He once fought both Bruce brothers, Koser and Probert, on the same night. In that game, he also scored the game-winning goal. The only game-winning goal of his career. You see his face afterwards. He fought. It was brutal. Oh. And then a wrestling one for you guys that's a little off the point of wrestling. During the filming of The Princess Bride, Andre the Giant let out a 16-second fart. Brought production to a standstill. No one said a word until Rob Reiner said, "Are you okay?" And Andre's response was, "I am now, boss." And those are the hidden, buried treasures, I should say, for this week.
Very good. Okay, we've picked for 10 weeks in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, we still have that to do.
I have 17. Darren has 15. Kevin has 14 wins. Overall, we are 46 and 44. Thank God we're at least over 500.
Wants to know how he's doing in college, though. He's been killing it in college, hasn't he?
Yeah, that slowed down a little bit lately.
Okay. Then we don't have to go there.
we go to week 11 NFL. Kev, I'm passing the honors to you. Where would you like to start?
Oh, here are my picks. Jeez, I forgot about it. I closed up my stuff and I forgot we had this part to do. Off a big win last week. I think they keep the momentum going. They're playing a bad team, even though it's on the road. I'm taking Houston laying the 6.5 at Tennessee.
Okay.
Very good. Darren?
You know, I picked them last week and they screwed me. I'm going to do it again, though. I'm going to take the Vikings -3 against the Bears. I think the Bears are doing it with mirrors. I think the Vikings are better.
I'm taking the Ravens -7.5 in Cleveland. I think Baltimore's got something going here. Lamar's back. They're playing well. Give me Baltimore -7.5. Kev?
Really good matchup. I'm taking it because they're home. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. 35-31 type. I'm taking the Rams -3.5 against the Seahawks.
I like it. Darren?
I'm going to take the Lions +2.5 against the Eagles. I think the Lions are going to win this game.
Really?
I think the Lions are going to win this game on the road on a Sunday night. I don't know why. I'm taking
I like the Lions too there. I had them.
Since we're both under 500, does it really matter?
My second game, I've been picking against them every week. I'm gonna keep it going until it bites me in the ass. Give me Green Bay -6.5 against the Giants. Kev?
I didn't like too many other games. You know what? They're not playing well. It's going to be 52 degrees on a Sunday in Buffalo, which is pretty warm. So therefore, I'm going to take Tampa Bay +5.5 at Buffalo, only because it's a warm enough day.
Okay, Darren?
I'm going to take the Jaguars at home +3 against the Chargers. No real reason for it. I just think that the Chargers had a good week last week, but I think that the Jags pass rush is going to drive him nuts. I think they find a way. I'm going to take the Jags.
West Coast team playing the 1:00 Sunday game.
I love that too.
I don't think Pittsburgh is dead yet. I'm taking the Steelers -5.5 at home against Cincinnati. It's a bad Cincinnati team. Even worse now. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think they got a sign of life still left in them. Give me Pittsburgh -5.5 for week 11 NFL. Darren?
Cool. Any closing points before we wrap it up?
Can't believe
the sports case from Queens.
Can't believe it's week 11 of the NFL season.
Week 11 and episode 204 for us. We are the Sports Kings from Queens. I'm Darren here with Kevin, here with Gino. Talk about the wonderful, wild, and wacky world of sports. A wacky world where Mara and Tish waited 204 episodes of hearing us complain about Daboll before they finally freaking fired him. Please download the podcast anywhere you get a podcast, whether it be an Apple product, Spotify, TuneIn, whatever you like. Also, we're on social a lot. Like, share. If you don't like, fake it. Fake it and like it and share it anyway, because we need more listenership. And without any further ado, may your sports be with you.